even if they violate one amendment, now it's justified to shoot at them, correct?
I'm not going to make those claims.
Right,
no.
but you did make those claims because you know you're telling people to kill people, you fucking psychotic bitch. Who's your favorite streamer? You watch a lot of streamers?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite streamer?
My favorite streamer? I don't really have a favorite. I watch a wide variety of streamers.
You got any lefties that you like to get your news from?
Yeah, I don't watch Hassan. Like, no.
Okay, who are you watching? That wouldn't have been my guess. I got a different guess.
You know who I love watching, and you know him really well. Okay, do you know my boy Wick? Do you know my boy Wick?
I do know Wick, who calls for people to get arrested to obstruct ICE.
Oh. No, he doesn't. But you know what?
He doesn't?
I mean,
You want to see the clip?
No, I don't want
Why?
to see the
You
clip
just definitively said he doesn't. Here we go. Let's play the clip. Why don't you want to see it? Why don't you want to?
I watch the entire live stream. I don't have to watch.
Why don't you? Now, just so the audience could see the person you're supporting here. Here we go. By the way, did you take Wick's advice? Are you out there getting arrested?
Right now.
You're going out and obstructing ICE. You're admitting to that. Here, remember, she said Wick didn't say that. Here we go.
I'm gonna.
Christopher said
look,
Wick didn't say it.
I think that at this point
just like
in time, and yeah, I've been leaning towards this, but I've been like, maybe not. But no, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna call it here. You have a moral obligation to obstruct ICE. You have a moral obligation as a Christian, as a U.S. citizen, as a patriot, to, if ICE comes to you and asks about someone, lie. Now recognize that you will get arrested. You will go to jail. But I think you still have the moral obligation to do so. That's my position.
Based.
You agree? Based? So you did say that. You acknowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that based? You think that's a good idea?
Yeah. Based.
You think that it's a good idea to tell people to obstruct law enforcement, lie to them, and then get arrested?
So he specifically said not obstruct them, but he have a moral obligation, and I believe he had this.
You want to play the clip again? You want to play the clip again?
With you once, and I'm not going to rehash it again, in which he clearly stated to you that if you have a moral obligation to obstruct meaningfully, to obstruct in a way that if ICE is breaking the law or doing something, you have a moral obligation to stop them.
First off, he said there quite specifically lie to them, which is a crime. That's obstruction.
He did already admit that lying is a crime. But
right. And he says to do that. Wait. I promise I'll leave you go. And he admits it's a crime and he's telling people to do it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he's telling people to obstruct and break the law and get arrested. And that's based. You say based.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
No, I don't live in Minnesota.
They're not in my area. What state do you live in?
I'm not telling you where I live. No.
Well, I'll say this. I think Wick, there's an actual lawyer speaking up, my friend, potentially criminal Sean, $5 says lying to federal agents is a criminal offense. Just don't talk to them. That's right. But Wick goes further. Now, again, another person calling in federal agents who's not out there breaking the law herself, but she wants she wants the audience, Wick's audience, to go break the law and go to jail. You're not going to do it, though. By the way, Wick's in Pennsylvania. Guess what? ICE is deporting people in Pennsylvania, too. I wonder why he's not out there.
Right. So specifically just lying to federal agents is not illegal. Lying to federal agents about like an active investigation is illegal. Like you can go up to a you can go up to a federal agent can come up to you and ask for your name. If you are not implicated in a crime, they don't have probable cause, you can tell them whatever name you want. Okay? They have no reason.
I'm not sure if lying itself, I would assume that they wouldn't, like, if I say, let me finish. If I say, excuse me, federal agent, did you know I was the fastest person in my high school, which is a lie, I don't think they'd arrest me for that. But even if we accept your argument, which I'm not so sure it's true, that making up a name or something isn't a crime, even if I accept that, it's clear that's not what Wick's suggesting to do. He's saying lying as your mortal duty to obstruct. In other words, lie to impede them carrying out their duties. That's a crime. You acknowledged it. He acknowledged it.
Yes, that is a crime.
Okay, then why are you even arguing the point here?
It's because the point is not lying. The point is that we have a moral obligation to stop people from breaking the law. At what point are your First Amendment? At what point are your First Amendment rights, are your rights of the Constitution violated to the point where you're allowed to take up arms and fight back? At which point?
You don't.
What do you mean you don't? It says in the Constitution.
Where?
You don't believe it says in the Constitution that you can take up arms and fight against a tyrannical government?
Show me in the Constitution where it says
you
that.
Don't know.
Show me what article. You tell me. You're making the claim. What article says you can take up arms and fight the government? Go ahead. Show me the article. That's called an insurrection, I believe. It does speak to that in some of the amendments. Another word for that might be treason.
No.
Now, there are documents that you could say outside the Constitution. Perhaps the Declaration of Independence, but it's not the Constitution.
Yeah. But we still do have the right to do that. And regardless...
No, you don't have the... You don't... What's a right? Define what a right is.
It's in the 14th Amendment, by the way.
Okay. What? The 14th Amendment says you have the right to pick up arms and fight
the Second Amendment.
Okay, where does it say in the Second Amendment that you have the right to shoot the government?
Take up arms against a tyrannical government.
Show me, what's the second...
Take up arms against a tyrannical government, yeah.
Let's read the Second Amendment, the exact text. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Show me where that says you have the right to shoot at the government.
The Second Amendment codified an individual right to firearm possession to combat fear.
No. I'm not interested. By the way, are you reading an AI summary?
No.
What are you reading?
Constitution.findlaw.com.
Okay. And it's going to say that the Second Amendment gives you the right to shoot at government agents. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says in the Second Amendment to have a gun and to fight a tyrannical government. That is part of the Constitution. That is part of...
Link me what you're reading that says
Is that not part of the Constitution to fight a tyrannical government?
Link me. You're reading from Find Law. You just read from it, so link it to me, and I'll read it. I'll put it on screen.
You do not agree.
Why don't you just link the article you just read from?
Are you actually disagreeing
Why don't you... Why are you stalling? You said you're reading from something. Just link it, and we'll see if it says what you're saying. I don't think it does. I think you're implying you're reading from it, and you can tell by the inflection of your voice that you're inserting your own words. That's what I believe. So just link it, and we'll see for ourselves.
No, I said that the Second Amendment...
Link the document. Just link the document. Why is it so hard to link the document? You've already linked one. You know how to do it.
The right to... Okay, so the
just
right
link.
to bear arms...
Now you're looking up something else.
Hold on.
Link the fucking document.
There you go.
Okay, now this is... Here we go.
Some historians argue that the primary reason for Second Amendment was to prevent the need for the United States to have a professional standing army. Others say that the fear of standing army is the reason for the Second Amendment protections, that, as they say, citizens' right to bear arms serve necessary in case of a tyrannical government. So I don't know. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. So wasn't saying that you have the right to shoot government agents.
What do you think that? Okay. What is the Second Amendment?
The Second Amendment is the specific wording of it, which I just read to you. Well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment.
Okay, and what do you do when you have arms? Like, what do you do when you bear arms? What are those? What are those usually considered?
Weapons.
Weapons, right? And what do you do with weapons?
Well, you could do all kinds of things. You could hunt.
Okay, and what do you
could hunt.
do?
You could be militia. You could accept out. You could face outside invaders. You could protect your property. A lot of things you could do.
Right. So...
I want you to define.
It says fight against a tyrannical government.
Show me where the Second Amendment. Show me where the Second Amendment says that.
Does imply.
Show me where the Second Amendment says. Show me where the Second Amendment says you can shoot. You have the right to shoot government agents.
Do you? Okay, so you want it to say specifically? Do you want to shoot? No. Okay.
All right. Let's do it this way. What's a right?
Oh, Jesus Christ. So you're not, so you're going to tell me that I'm wrong, that it says that you have
the right to pick up arms. You're saying your argument, you were on here saying you have the right to shoot at government agents. That's what you're saying. I'm asking you to, I think this is very dangerous rhetoric. So the first question I have for you
is, think it's dangerous rhetoric to read the Constitution? This is why the,
I
just Republican
read the
Party is failing.
I just read the
This is why the Republican Party is going down
What
the drain.
is a
They
right?
want to argue the fucking Constitution.
What is a right?
Is ridiculous.
Can you argue what a right is?
Oh my God.
Can you tell me
what you mean? What do you mean, what is a right?
You tell me. You're saying you have the right to shoot government agents. Do you have the right to shoot ICE?
Do you... What?
Alex Preddy, you saw that footage. Would you have had the right to shoot the CBP agents?
Another pivot, dude.
What are you talking about?
You don't have the right to shoot that guy.
That's right.
So why are you...
Now you finally get there. So when you were saying...
No.
Wait, this is how we got here. Just so you know. Wick, and you're agreeing with them,
so
says
are
that you should
we
break...
Go ahead?
If you be quiet, I'll explain how we got here and how this isn't a pivot. You made the claim that Wick was based when he said people should break the law to obstruct ICE by lying to them, which is a federal crime. And then in your haste to defend it, you were like, look, we have the right to stop tyrannical governments. In fact, we have the right to shoot back at them. That's what you said, right?
Nope.
Okay, what did you say?
I said we have the right to take up arms against a tyrannical government. At what point, if violation of our Second Amendment, violation of our First Amendment or 14th Amendment, and I guess they're trying to violate the Second Amendment, at what point are we allowed to take up arms and fight against a tyrannical government? What point?
The problem is, so up the two things.
You didn't answer the question. I'm not.
I will answer. There's two answers.
Essay.
You'll be quiet. You'll be quiet and let me answer. First off, normally when someone Fed posts like you're doing, I would kick them off because anyone who's drawing implications that people should draw up arms against the government is doing a disservice to the people that are listening and probably violating terms of service. However, I will answer the question, right? Number one, it has not to do with the matter of right? At least in the sense of what the government affords to you. For example, we would say that you have the right to have a revolution against the British government. If you win, the British government didn't see it that way. So if they lost, they would have went to jail for treason and probably been executed if they weren't killed in the actual war. So it's not a question of you have a lawful right to start shooting at agents because you feel they're violating your First Amendment. For example, once we go down that track and you give people the ability to use force when they feel their rights are being violated, did you think the Patriot Act violated your Fourth Amendment right?
No, and you're not answering my question.
Why not? Why didn't the Patriot Act violate your Fourth Amendment right to privacy?
Okay, we're not pivoting to the Patriot Act because again, you're not answering my question. It is answering the question. It is answering the question. It is answering the question, which is the second point. What people like you want to do is you forgive any sort of violation of your rights or amendments that you don't give a shit about that occur under a Democratic administration. And if there was any sort of riots or people shooting at law enforcement, you would scream, look at these violent lunatics. But then you want to imply to your audience, we should break the law. We should obstruct. At what point are we allowed to shoot at them? Which is dangerous, and it's clearly an implication that you're saying. It's not an implication.
Okay, then why bring this up if it has nothing to do with it? Why bring it up? Why are you bringing it up? Why are you bringing it up?
Why is the Constitution to you an implicate? Like, why is the Constitution to you something that is an implication to shoot the government when it says in the
You just said it. Why did you bring this hypothetical scenario up if it's not based in anything that you're suggesting?
It's not a hypothetical. This is part of our government. This is what the Constitution says.
So I just want to be clear. I want to be clear. We're talking about what ICE is doing right now and how we're morally justified to break the law to stop them. And you immediately go, at what point do we have the right to take up arms against them? And then you're like, oh, but I'm not saying we do. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It has nothing to do with this is just a completely unrelated hypothetical.
Yeah, again, so let's put it on
you answer the question. You tell me, when do you think we have the right to pick up guns and start shooting back at the government for violating
when our rights start being violated?
Okay, right? Anytime?
So like if our constitutional rights are being violated, if our 14th Amendment rights, First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, if all those are being violated,
what about just one of them?
Well, I would say yes, especially the First Amendment, since we already a long time ago.
So when the Biden team was pressuring Twitter to censor people, we should have took up arms. Your suggestion is, if they're censoring people's free speech, they're starting a disinformation board. That's a violation of my free speech. So you're suggesting I would have been justified to use lethal force against the government for that?
No, because that's not a violation of the First
Douglas
Amendment.
Mackey got arrested for putting a meme up. That's a violation of his First Amendment right. Would he have been justified to use lethal force?
No, that's not a violation of his.
Why
First
not?
Amendment, right?
Your right to free speech shall not be infringed. Quite clear.
Where was he? Who was he arrested by? You know what? I'm not even going to let you pivot away from this. I'm not even going to let you.
The Patriot Act clearly violates the Fourth Amendment, the right to privacy. Clearly.
You understand that in most cases, there are like caveats to every amendment. But in this case, social media has its own terms of service. Right?
So what you're saying is you disagree with my interpretation of when my rights were being violated.
No, that's not the interpretation. That's the law. If you disagree,
what are you talking? Okay, then what law right now? So then the argument would be that if legally Trump's allowed to deport people, then you can't say shit.
I don't think that's ever been a problem if he's legally allowed to deport people.
Okay, so then when are you recommending?
What he's doing.
So you're saying he's violating it. So when are you allowed? Explain. Let's step back. So you outlined the scenario for when we could shoot at the government when they're violating all these rights, correct?
I'm not going to say definitively when we can or can't.
No. That was the question, and you said
yeah,
this is when you violate the Fourth Amendment. This is what you said. Let me refresh your memory.
Yeah,
I said let me ask the question to you.
Yeah.
You said when they violate the 14th Amendment, when they violate the First Amendment, when they violate the Second Amendment. I said, what if they just violate one? You said to me, yes. So even if they violate one amendment, now it's justified to shoot at them, correct?
I'm not going to make those claims.
Right, no. But you did make those claims because you know you're telling people to kill people, you fucking psychotic bitch.
Ooh, that's an
people are going to lose their life because of fucking retards like you and Wick. It's not really funny, you fucking asshole. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. You cannot go online and tell people to shoot at law enforcement. You fucking asshole. I will say this from the bottom of my heart. You need to really reevaluate what you're doing. It's really fucking disgusting and someone's going to get hurt. It's fucking terrible. I mean, I'm not joking in the least bit. It's fucking horrible. What you're doing is horrible.
That you're watching the Trump administration destroy democracy around you, and you're just sitting here letting it happen. I think that's terrible. I think you're lying to your audience. Someone's gonna die.
I think when the next Alex Preddy dies, I'm happy that you don't have much of an audience. Because when the next Alex Preddy dies, you're gonna celebrate it, and it's fucking monstrous. You're putting people in those positions.
Why would
it's
you
disgusting.
Think celebrate somebody dying? Like, I don't know.
Because it helps you be a martyr for your cause.
I think it's disgusting that you're sitting here like telling lies about things that I would or would not.
I'm not lying. I've been honest the whole time. You're the one admitting you're lying. Why would anyone believe that you accuse me of lying?
I said I would lie to you specifically about that because I'm not going to sit here and say this on your platform.
So you'll lie to things to benefit yourself.
Yeah, yeah. That's because I'm immoral. Yeah. Right.
Okay, then why would I believe anything you say?
What? You don't have to believe anything I say. What I'm telling you is that I'm not going to say that specific thing. Okay. Right. I mean, does that make sense to you?
No, what makes sense to me is that it's fucking disgusting. You're going to get someone hurt and people like you. Yes.
I'm going to get somebody hurt. You think
for God's sakes, don't go out and shoot at federal law enforcement.
I never said that.
That is what you said. Yeah. You just admitted you lied to say that you didn't say it.
I'm telling people to not do that. Don't shoot at federal law enforcement.
Should they take up firearms against federal law enforcement?
If there is a tyrannical government, I'm not going to say that again. I'm not going to say it again.
Admit it. So yes,
I'm not going to say it again.
What does take up arms mean?
I'm not going to say it again, brother.
What does take up arms mean?
I know exactly. It's
We'll see. I don't know what to say other than it's terrible. You're telling people to put their life in line. It's probably a crime what you're doing. It's fucking disgusting.
I don't think it's a crime, but
I think it's fucking disgusting. Yep.
All right.
There you have it, folks. Remember what I said about Wick? Remember when I said about how fucking dangerous it was? There you go. There goes another one of the few Wick supporters out there. You see? That's how I know there's going to be more people that die. Because that fucking insanity. Absolute fucking insanity. I don't understand how you could have the confidence, how you could have the fucking confidence to tell people to put themselves in harm's way like that and be so vapidly unintelligent. It's surreal. Look, I've lost fucking debates. I've said things that aren't great arguments, etc., etc. But my goodness, would I ever tell you to go take up arms against our government? It's absolute insanity. And I told you, I've been telling you, There are millions of fucking people like this lunatic. And they'll lie, too, about their intentions. As you heard her say, I'm going to lie. Notice she's not out there. Did you notice that? Why isn't she out there? Had this moral obligation. She says, you don't know, maybe I am. Really? Maybe you are. Interesting. Maybe you are taking up arms against the government? That's interesting. They are absolutely convinced that they are morally virtuous and therefore their acts of violence are justified. Period.